Hey guys, today we're driving the new 2021 BMW 430i convertible. We have a number of new updates to this new 430i, including the front end with the Bavarian Beaver grille. I'm just going to call it that. Some people like it, some people don't. It's there. The rest of the car I think looks fantastic, even though maybe the front end doesn't quite fit the rest of the design. That's okay. Otherwise, this seems like a pretty nice car on first impressions. We've got a number of updates and changes. It's a little bit larger, it's got a longer wheelbase, slightly more trunk space, and instead of a folding hardtop, we only have the option for this folding cloth top. This 430i comes in around a $54,000 starting price. As spec, this has a ton of options on it. It's 67 grand, but we won't talk about that. If you want to customize your BMW the way you like it, you can when you go and purchase one. So there's also the M440i and of course the M4, which we will be getting in a couple weeks. Very excited to drive that. This has a sport package, the premium package, lots of different packages. We'll put everything in the description to list that out. This 4-cylinder makes 255 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. If you want something sporty, get the N-Line 6. But this is otherwise a pretty nice powertrain. 8-speed automatic. The one we have today is rear-wheel drive. It puts all of its power down through Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. Very grippy. We get the M Sport package, so we've got these nice big red Brembo brakes with M badging on them. Lots of M badging. BMW LED headlights. And let's look at this grille. This is a slightly different grille from the M4. It's one piece instead of two individual pieces. You get these aero shutters right here that open and close to allow for more or less cooling, and that's just kind of where you put your European license plate. A little bit more openings down below. Controversial design, not everyone loves it. Let's see if we can get the convertible top to lower here. You just hold the unlock key and the top swoops back. Pretty cool. They've been able to save some weight and space in this 430i convertible with the cloth top. It's about 40% lighter than the folding hardtop. There's a pretty good amount of space behind the driver's seat. You could fit 4 adults in here. It's the first time getting back here, so I don't really know what to expect. Front seat folds forward, set to my driving position at 5'10". I mean, this definitely isn't as spacious as a BMW 3 Series, but for a convertible, not too bad. This has a pretty advanced rollover protection system. Pops out when it senses the car is about to roll or something happens. We've got strengthened door pillars for side impact, and we've got a lot of chassis stiffening, bracing, aluminum hood, fenders to save weight. This is still a reasonably heavy car, around 3,900 pounds, but not terrible given it's a convertible with all the modern safety tech and all that good stuff. Let's start it up and see what it's like inside here. Very familiar BMW chime and very familiar BMW interior. If you've driven anything from BMW in the last few years, all their interiors are kind of looking about the same. I do really like these red seats. They're very comfortable, sporty, they're bolstered nicely. You've got your classic crumb collector right down there. And these even have a neck heater. This is an air vent that blows hot air onto your neck when you have the top down and you set it to the on mode. You've got 3 different settings, and very nice feature in the colder weather like we have today. Newer iDrive system, very fast, very responsive, a lot of menus, a lot of complexity. But if you own this car, you're going to set it all up, get it to your preferences and your taste, and it'll be okay. You can use it as a touchscreen. That all works very well. It's a nice system. It's clear. It's located close to the driver's reach and not too far from the driver's sightline. This center digital display is also very nice, very high res, sharp, responsive. You've got all your drive mode selectors down here: Sport, Comfort, Eco Pro, and Adaptive, and you can also configure individual settings. Oh yes. Kind of a meaty sounding 4-cylinder. Twin power turbo. Set nicely behind that front axle. A little bit of chassis bracing here. This is a very efficient turbocharged inline 4-cylinder. It's rated for 24 miles to the gallon in the city and 34 on the highway. However, this week I've been averaging around 35 to 36 on the highway. It is impressive how efficient BMW makes their engines. Let's take a look at the trunk here. Let's look in the back. So we can pop this with our key. They've added a little bit more trunk space. You've got some room in there. A lot of this is designated for the convertible top, but it's pretty deep. And the cloth top actually is very nice for daily use when you don't want to have the top down. It's very quiet. We'll experience that later on in this drive. Before we get started with our drive today, I would like to thank our sponsor, Fantom Wallet. They've been an awesome sponsor for the channel, and they make a very sleek, very cool, minimalist wallet. This one is the Fantom R with the key holder attachment on it, so you can carry your house keys or whatever keys you need with you at all times. And they're a Canadian-based company. They make very nice products, very well built. You can add a bunch of different accessories onto the Fantom R. There's a coin holder, a money holder, and of course you can also attach a money clip on the other side. So this is kind of my everyday perfect wallet. It works really well. It's sleek. It's held up to a lot of abuse and a lot of use. And if you guys are interested in updating your wallet or just getting something new, be sure to use the code TOPHER at checkout on fantomwallet.com for 10% off your order. All right, let's take this for a quick drive with the top down. We won't torture you with wind noise on the highway, but just want to give you an idea of what it's like at low speed driving with the top down. It's a pretty chilly day, 47 degrees Fahrenheit. Got a nice reverse camera, super high res, turning lines. When you approach an object, it'll give you the forward-facing camera, which is very nice. You can roll all the windows up at once by just holding that button right there, and everything comes up around you. We have nice, lightweight steering. Not too heavy, even in sport mode. You get a slightly more aggressive engine noise. The boost kicks in a little bit quicker in sport mode. That's what we have it set to right now. And this does make some fun turbo noises. Getting a little bit of buffeting behind my ears. Let's turn on those air curtains here. Feels pretty good, very comfortable, very nice. Let's see what it's like on the highway. I apologize for all the wind noise, but we've got to give it a shot. Put it into sport mode. Well, we've got an open entrance ramp. Give it the beans. 70 miles an hour, very comfortable, not a lot of buffeting going on with the windows up. I feel nicely isolated, very comfortable. I can feel that neck heater. And one thing I really enjoy about this convertible is that you can raise or lower the top at speeds as high as 31 miles per hour, which is very useful. And put our top back up. I'm sure this looks very strange in traffic. Kind of a cool party trick. Here it comes. 25 miles an hour, 27 miles an hour, 28, 30, 31. All right, we are off. And we didn't really hold anyone up. All right, back into sport mode. Let's see what this thing sounds like with the roof up. Not a lot of steering feel, but again, like I said, good amount of weight. Ooh, that's a long gear. M Sport differential equipped in this car, so we've got a little bit of nice rotation and traction out of corners. For being rear-wheel drive, this 430i really does put its power down quite well. In sport mode, we're getting more aggressive shifts. I mean, okay, it's a turbocharged 4-cylinder that makes 255 horsepower. It's probably a little underrated. It feels slightly faster than that. But performance-wise, I think it's perfectly adequate for the non-enthusiast. If you like your BMWs a little bit more exciting and fast, there's the M4, there's the M440i. You kind of can't go wrong with both of those options. But for just a cruiser, a nice convertible for maybe someone who just wants that badge and that nice driving experience on the weekends, this is a great powertrain. This automatic is flawless, and the turbocharged 4 sounds nice. It's super efficient. I mean, like I said, 35, 36 miles to the gallon on the highway is phenomenal, especially for a convertible. Very comfortable, very quiet at speed. Even though we have a cloth top, I'm not getting a lot of road or wind noise or even sound from other traffic as we pass this truck. I feel like I'm in a coupe. One thing I have noticed this week, the speedometer is about 4 miles per hour over your actual speed, at least indicated by GPS. So kind of interesting. Usually speedometers are ambitious by about 2 or 3 miles per hour at max, but 4 is definitely one of the higher offsets that I've seen. Oh yeah, we still got that neck heater going. Oh, it does feel really nice. I've always appreciated convertibles that make cold weather top-down driving as easy as possible. This 430i is definitely one of those. Do I have any complaints about this car? So we've talked about a lot of positives, a lot of things to like about this. Probably the first one is just the price. It's expensive. This car as spec'd is 67 grand with pretty much all the options you could get, and that's getting up there in price. Base price $54,000. Not too bad for what you're getting. I mean, this is a BMW. If you want options, if you want stuff, you're gonna have to pay for it. And that's just the way it is. I think it delivers a really nice driving experience. It's the right amount of sporty and engaging and fun, and the fact that you can enjoy this with the top down is a very nice thing. I don't think it makes any concessions for being a cloth top. The front end the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I think the older front ends with the slightly smaller, not as tall kidney grills were just so much classier, so beautiful. Why mess with a really beautiful design that matches the rest of the car? But I can see why BMW wants to kind of switch things up every now and then. Otherwise, I think this is a great looking car. And I will say the front end has grown on me this week after I've lived with it a little bit. In a darker color, that dark green or a gray, I think it would look pretty sharp. Otherwise, I don't really have too many complaints about this dynamically. There isn't a lot of steering feel, but there hasn't been in any BMW for a while. I do like the weight of the steering. The wheel's a little bit chunky, but not as bad as they used to be. The drivetrain, I think, is excellent for what this is. It's a really nice 4-cylinder. The transmission is awesome. The brake pedal is a little bit over boosted and overly sensitive. I have sometimes some trouble modulating a smooth braking into a traffic light or a stop sign. So if I've got a passenger, I really need to kind of pay attention to how smooth my inputs are with the brake pedal. So kind of a complaint there, not a huge deal, but just something to note. Let's hit one more entrance ramp here. Wonderful performance. This M Sport differential puts its power down really well. These Pilot Sport 4S's have a ton of grip. For an 8-speed, the gearing is a little bit long, especially into third. Would like to have some more shifts in there, but that's okay. The paddles are really responsive, even just in normal drive mode. And BMW always does this funny thing where the graphics of the shift speed are actually quicker than the transmission doing its shifting. So you'll notice if I downshift, according to the TAC, it's downshifting super fast, but you'll hear the engine come in after the graphic is updated. upshifts are pretty bang on though. I think they do that just to kind of make you feel like, oh, the transmission's a little bit more responsive, and psychologically it works. Still, just kind of a funny fluke. Ride quality is excellent. Suspension tuning is spot on here. Really nice and comfortable. And like I said, not a lot of NVH here with the convertible. This latest version of iDrive is really nice. This infotainment and all your settings, your ambient lighting, everything is just infinitely customizable. My only complaint with that would be that it's just a lot. It's a lot to deal with. You have so many menus and so many settings to delve deep into. Everything, even like the head-up display height and brightness, is hidden deep within like 3-4 different menus. So if you better get your settings set and you like them like that, and change them while you're parked or something, because you're not going to be able to really change this while driving safely on the fly. All right, guys. Well, I think that will sum up our thoughts on the new BMW 430i. Pretty impressed with this car. The more I've driven it this week, the more I've enjoyed it. It's been a long time since I've driven a BMW convertible, and I think this latest offering is a pretty good option for people who just want something that is a nice, luxurious cruiser convertible weekend car. Take up and down the coast. You could daily this no problem. There's a little bit more trunk space than previous versions. I'm very excited to see what the M4 drives like here in a few weeks. So, yeah, that'll be a good time. Be sure to check out Fantom Wallet if you are interested in purchasing your own minimalist wallet. And don't forget to use the code TOPHER for 10% off your order. Oh, one cool thing with these shifters, you guys may already know this, but if you have it in sport mode and you hit the park button, that's fun. I could play with that. Stay tuned on the Winding Road Magazine YouTube channel and the Daily Motor YouTube channel for more videos on this BMW. Daily Motor just started a new series called Car Court, where they argue the pros and the cons of each car that we test. We've got our social media guy, Chris Brower, on there now. He's doing a really nice job. And of course, Charlie always has good things to say about cars, whether he likes them or doesn't. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.